Hello everyone, I'm Manuel, and today I challenge you to prepare croquettes stringier than these. Let's start! We will need some potatoes, which I have already boiled for around 40 minutes, after which I did the fork or knife test. If we are able to skewer it, our potatoes are ready. Peel them. Take a potato ricer and into the bowl. If the potatoes are hot and beautifully soft, a fork will suffice. But having a potato ricer at home is always useful. Add in the egg and season with a pinch of salt and pepper. Give it some flavor with some nutmeg. And finally, the grated cheese. Next, I will start to mix that up with a fork. And then I will continue to mix it up using my little paws. It's already done. At this point, the mixture shouldn't be sticking to your hands. Even like this, a lightly squished ball cooked in a drizzle of oil would already be delicious. But what we want are some nicely stuffed croquettes. So let's start making the stuffing. A real classic, ham and mozzarella. I have already left the mozzarella to drain off its extra liquid for 2 hours, and now I'm going to cut it into big sticks. The sticks should be around this size. I am on the fior di latte team. I left it sitting for a few hours at room temperature, which should make it extra stretchy. But you will have to let me know what kind you think would be stringier. Write it in the comments. So we have our sticks of mozzarella. Let's take a bit of ham. This part is extra. This is one of those recipes where you can eat while you are cooking. Roll that together. Take a portion of dough and flatten it like this. Arrange the roll of mozzarella and ham on top. Then cover that with another piece of dough. Then, nice and slow, start to shape that into a croquette. Don't worry if the first ones are a bit ugly. They'll still definitely taste good. Just one thing. Be very careful that you don't leave any little bits of mozzarella peeking out. Because otherwise, when it starts cooking, it'll explode. Well, it won't really explode, but when the mozzarella gets in the oil, it will start spluttering. Our croquette is ready, so I will start to make some more. And now we are ready to begin braiding our croquettes. Eggs and breadcrumbs. For the eggs, I am going to beat them in our nice and convenient baking dish. We need all that space because our croquettes are nice and large. So, dunk them first into the egg, give them a bit of a turn, and then drain off the excess. And then, I always set some of the breadcrumbs aside to throw on top, like this. If you want to use panko, or if you want to mix some aromatic herbs into your breadcrumbs, you should feel free to customize the recipe. The first one is ready. Christian always asks me to make these for his birthday. Oh, Christian is my son. Since they are a little laborious, and the day of the party is always rather chaotic, what do? I knock them out the night before, and just before the party, I take them out of the fridge, bread them, and fry them up. Happy birthday! Time to fry! Do not go above 170 degrees, otherwise the croquettes will be burnt on the outside and remain cold on the inside. Carefully, just one at a time. Actually, 2 at a time. Today we are daredevils. After 3 to 4 minutes, our little croquettes will be ready. I know what you're about to ask me. And yes, they can also be cooked in the oven in static mode at 220 degrees. After 20-22 minutes, they will be ready. They are better fried. Drain them onto some fry paper. Salt them. The croquettes are ready. Now I will eat at least 9. Let's see if I will beat my own record. They might still be boiling hot, but I'll find out soon enough. These croquettes are scarily good. Try making them and try to see if you can beat how stretchy mine turned out. Ciao, good croquettes everyone.